Welcome to Ask Beck and Liz, where no topic is off limit. We want to answer your questions about business, life, and everything in between. If you have a question for Liz and me, send it to ask@beckandliz.com. That's ask@beckandliz.com. So, Elizabeth, coming off of the conversation with Meg Roberts, she hit so many wonderful points, one of which had to do with being transferred to be herself in all situations with her franchisees, with her employees, etc. I thought it was such a valuable point. So I guess the question I have is, what is your thoughts about that, and how do you find ways to be transparent?
Well, I think, when she talked about that and not feeding somebody a line about what they want to hear, especially when you're trying to attract a franchisee to your system, I think most of us probably relate to that. I was thinking about all the people that you deal with in your life, and I had a pediatrician one time tell me that he didn't know something. And I was thrilled because they can't know everything about everything. And for him to stop and say, you know what, I'm going to go look something up and just make sure and I'll be right back. I trusted him 1,000 times more after that than because when they're making stuff up, when they're not exactly sure. And I think that level of transparency puts so much trust in you from not only the people that you're leading within your business, but the people you want to attract to your business, the people you're collaborating on committees with or in lobbying efforts or whatever it is, because I know Meg does some lobbying. And if she's carrying that as something that she wants to present and be, people have to trust her.
Yeah. And trust is so important no matter what the relationship is, whether it's a husband and wife, whether it's a best friend, whether it's a business partner, franchisor, franchisee. I thought the point around being okay with being imperfect was so important, because I think especially with social media and some of the things that are going on, many people are puffing themselves up and don't always present the good, bad, and the ugly of themselves. So this confidence in I'm imperfect, it's okay to be imperfect. This person I'm in relationship with is likely also imperfect, and therefore it's okay for me to speak the truth, be honest, be transparent, and show the good, bad, and the ugly. And that to me takes a bit of self-confidence to say, I don't have to have it all together yet. And to your point, it then builds a greater level for trust. Never mind, it then gives us an opportunity to have someone speak into our lives and help us perfect ourselves or get a little bit better at something.
Well, and when you have that kind of personality and reputation, and that's the way that people know you, showing that vulnerability makes you accessible. And she said to me when I interviewed her for the magazine, I would never want anybody to think I have it all together. And, the way she talks and the confidence that she exudes, she has a lot together. But even the most together seeming people have bad days or have issues or have things they wish they did better. And I remember when I was in college and, in the moment of things, you're pretty heartbroken. I was at FSU and you had to apply to get into the creative writing program. So I applied to 2 different professors. And I have the letters somewhere in a scrapbook saved side by side. One professor wrote me back and said, ugh, you're sentimental. I think I've told you this before. You're sentimental. You're terrible. You need to find a new career. And the other professor was like, love it. Great. Sign up today. And so I was like, the first letter was crushing because that's what I wanted to do. And the second letter, it made me realize that it was me who had to believe in myself and not let the tides turning of others' opinions, crash my wave.
Exactly, which is that ability to self-assess. And as you pointed out, at the same time say, well, maybe I have something still to learn, right? Or
well, exactly.
something that I'm not quite great at. Yeah, and the way Meg talked about it with this level of humility, like you said, she's
Mhm.
had great success, but she has this level of humility that has really served her. And I think it's something we really want to walk away with. And this humility allows her to be transparent and honest, which then has people come into her life that want to collaborate, that want to contribute, that want to offer something. And in turn, she brings her gifts and talents. When she's talking about her best friend, you know, she was like, oh my gosh, she's good at everything.
Mhm.
And he's saying, oh my gosh, you're good at this. You know, this ability to see in one another what we don't have and bring it out. But if we can't be honest and raw and authentic, including our weaknesses, others can't, you know, point out our goodness or point out our gifting or come to our rescue if necessary, if we got it all together,
Yeah,
right?
well, exactly. And when she talked about, getting into the University of Michigan by the skin of her teeth,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you know her now, is surprising because she's so driven and so smart and so well spoken. But my favorite thing that she said of the whole interview, I think, is, because I wrote it down, you are motivated if you believe that something is within reach.
Mm-hmm.
And when she tells people that, who might be struggling or might not think they could reach the same level of success, that allows them to believe, well, if Meg struggled through this particular phase of life, or if she had a hard time getting into school, then maybe I can do that too. Um, and I think that's an important story. And I think that's why you and I tell a lot of the stories that we tell, um,
Yeah.
because things do seem more attainable when people are human in doing these things.
They're
They're
like
not
us, right?
superhuman. They're just, everybody's a normal person. Some people just have qualities that can be learned: drive, grit, determination, tenacity, all those
Mm-hmm.
things. And I think that helps everybody think the next step is something they can have as well.
Absolutely, especially if they see themselves in that other person. Our
Mhm.
trainer, Tracy, is a wonderful public speaker and a wonderful trainer. And she tells a story where she watched somebody else up being paid a lot of money to be a speaker that, as she observed them, was quite average, right?
Mm.
But others were very excited about what he was talking about. And she said that was the moment that she realized she too could do that,
Mhm.
right? That when she saw that she was like him, what looked like just an average person with a talent that was, not yet fully developed, it gave her the confidence to say, I can do that
Mhm.
also. And she's
And
gone
I'm worth
on.
being paid.
I'm worth being paid for that.
Not only that, if he's getting that kind of money, so could I.
Yeah. So she went about, taking Toastmaster classes and doing all kinds of stuff and, growing in leaps and bounds. And honestly, I saw the same speaker she's talking about, and sure enough, I would put her neck and neck with him. So it's to Meg's point, when we see something is attainable,
Mhm.
we become a whole lot more motivated to do what it takes to get there.
Absolutely.
So, as always, Miss Elizabeth, we solve the world's problems in 10 minutes flat. We're so good at this.
I know.
So, I want to thank everyone for joining Liz and I today, where passion and purpose collide, and profits are made, and relationships are forged. This is Beck and Liz signing off and wishing you another purpose filled and profitable week.